Arizona State University.
Yeah, Newsmakers Week 2022. We kick it off on this Tuesday morning, and our very first guest of Newsmakers Week, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils football program, Herm Edwards, joins us here on Newsmakers Week. Coach, good morning. How are you today?
How are you? How you guys doing?
Doing well. A lot has changed with your program, Herm, since the last time we spoke. I guess just to start off the conversation, your general feeling on the health, the condition of the program with all the changes that are going on.
Well, a lot of energy in the building, actually, when you think about this football team. It's interesting, last Saturday, this Saturday now, morning, I'm here every day, and right about 8:30, but Darius, who's been here for quite some time, one of our offensive linemen, has been a starter since a freshman. He had 8 offensive linemen out there. We got a bunch of new guys on the offensive line because we went into the portal and decided to try to build our team that way. We're out there working. And when you see that, you just kind of smile and just say, okay, I see the intent of these guys and the focus of this football team, which has been very, very good. So it's kind of fun to watch them work, and I know they're all excited, especially in March. It's getting ready to roll around. We're going to start spring football here on the 15th of March. So we're excited about the opportunity and the adding of 25 new players. 16 of those guys are new additions in the spring. A lot of those guys, as you know, came from the portal or JC or grad transfer. So we're excited with the team that we've assembled over the offseason.
Now, you probably know externally there is a lot of noise, and I think some of it began when Antonio took off and more came after Jaden decided to go into the transfer portal. You were a very, very popular sports media figure before you came here. Now you've got people screaming for your head. How are you dealing with that, Herm? Do you think it's fair? Do you think the worst is over in terms of that?
I think this, as a coach, you realize that your number one priority is your team. And I've always had that mindset. And it's the players in the building and the people in the building. And I know this. We're excited about the players we've brought in here. They're excited about being part of the program. And the team that is here with a lot of veteran guys are excited about the guys we brought in here. And really, they're in meetings this morning, and, we're moving on. We're getting ready for spring football and getting prepared to figure out, how this thing's all going to shake out. There's going to be a lot of different positions that are in for competition because of the new guys. Obviously, the quarterback room will be that way, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Herm Edwards, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest here on Newsmakers Week 2022. One more question on the Jaden Daniels decision, and I'm not going to ask you about his path, where he's going, but there's a lot of people from the outside, Herm, that have assumed that you were caught way off guard by that whole process. Is that fair to say that you were surprised by Jaden's decision at which time it came?
Well, I know this. Anyone that decides to leave this program for whatever reason, they have the ability to do that now with the portal. I've said this, and I did this in pro football as well. When you have mini camps sometimes and the veterans don't show up because of contracts or whatever, you don't talk about the guys that aren't here. You just talk about the players that are here. That's always been my mindset. And that's only fair. That's just only fair to the players that are here working every day, the kids that showed up this morning that are in the weight room already at 7:30, they'll be here at 7:30. It's just fair to the team, and that's what we talk about a lot around here.
People who know you best say you're very, very trusting, that you're very loyal, and that your loyalty may have been taken advantage of. Do you feel in any way that is the case based on some of the people who are no longer coaching underneath you?
I feel this way, that when you delegate responsibility, you have to trust people. I live in a world like that. I grew up that way. I just think I don't micromanage people. Now, I'm over. I understand what's going on for the most part. But at the end of the day, I think, football is about trust, by the way. This game's built on trust. When you call a play, it comes in on offense or defense. The people in the circle, you got to trust each other. They're going to do their job. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you can't run the play. It doesn't function that way. You guys have watched sports long enough. Sports is all about trust. It's about the people that you trust that are going to do their jobs correctly in the right way.
Herm Edwards, our guest here on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station. You bring Brian Billick in to be part of the staff as a consultant, an analyst. What was that recruiting pitch like from you to Brian Billick to get him to be a part of the program, Herm?
Well, we go way back, obviously. Our history is kind of, he was at BYU when I left Cal and went to San Diego State. He was a tight end. So we played against each other in college. So that's how far we go back. We're aging ourselves. But through our coaching careers, been connected with Brian for quite some time. And like Marvin, in a similar situation, you have relationships with people, and just felt like at this point in time to do something for our offense, and to give it a spurt and giving it an outside look maybe. No different than what Marvin has done here in helping us defensively. Our defense, when you look at it last year, was, if you look at the statistics, we were right there at the top, number one defense in the conference. We got to do a better job offensively and defensively at times. When you think about how we played, we always played in deficits. The 4 games that we lose, they all had the similar outcome. We were down early in the game, except for the Utah game, which we actually had a lead. But the BYU game, we were down 14. Oregon State, we were down 17. Utah, we were up. We were up. Washington State, we were down 21. And when you look at those games, fouls were big in those games. Mm-hmm. 46 fouls in 4 games. That's 11 fouls. You had 9 turnovers in those games. That's 2 a game. And those are the 4 games we lose against those opponents. Now, those were bad halves. We played 4 bad halves of football, and those are our losses. When you come in second in the Pac-12 South and you look at your losses, the team to win it was Utah at 9-3, and we're 8-4. And you look at how we lost, and it's stuff that we can correct. And so that's the bright side of it. When you look at it, it's okay. We played 4 bad halves of football, not games, halves of football. Teams that ended up having winning records, and the one that won it all was Utah. They were the best team overall, and they were 9-3. And we finished with 8-4 record.
All right, my last question, Herman. We appreciate you handling all this heavy stuff. The NCAA investigation clearly has had an effect on recruiting. How do you get out from underneath this? And to all Sun Devil fans out there, what is the path forward? How do you get out of this certain, whatever you want to call it, the valley you happen to be in as a program? What is the path forward?
Well, our path is real simple. Even before this it transpired, we were going to go into the portal, because it's a new way. It's a free agency in college football, right? It becomes part of it. And when you lose as many players that we were going to lose, we had 22 seniors that were going to leave due to the fact that the COVID guys came back. So when we looked at our football team, we said, you know what? We're going to have to deal in the portal, get about 15 to 16 portal players, and then fill the roster rest with high school players. So we've got about 4 scholarships left that we're going to dabble in the portal. We've gotten our high school players that we needed, but we brought in some guys that have a lot of experience, especially on the offensive line, tight end position, at the running back positions, that have played football in the secondary, that have played football at programs. So they come in here no different than in pro football free agency. That's what the portal is now. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a new thing that goes along with the portal, guys, the name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
That's become a big factor in college football. I will say this. I think eventually it'll work its way out, but they're going to have to put a cap on it. They're going to have to put a cap on it, because if not, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of schools to deal in that world.
Herm, thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate the candor as always.
Thank you, man. God bless you both.
Thank you. Same to you, Herm.